going on, guys, we are going to be having a live session, and one thing that I like is that we are now going to be looking at some of the currencies that were suggested by the private team. They suggested things such as like GBP AUD, USD JPY, and as well GBP JPY. So I added that to my bucket list, and as well I also added gold onto my bucket list. But the indices have always been on my top pace, so we also cover a bit more of that. One thing that I'll do is that I'll just take maybe one of each or maybe two of each, and I'll just give you guys some of the currencies or as well indices that we looked at and a commodity, and you guys can be able to just see what actually goes on in the private team. And maybe if you're interested or excited, you can click the link that's going to be in the description, the very first link to become a part or a member of our private inner circle. But guys, what happens is that the most important thing is for you to stay consistent and dedicated towards this beautiful week, because when you're looking at the markets, when you do happen to start the week on a negative slate, it means that you're going to be working throughout the whole week trying to recover. But if you started on a positive slate, there's a high chance that you can end the week with a huge banger. So that's something that you should take home while you are analyzing or looking at this session. And as well, make sure that you've got a notebook that's close to you, and as well a pen, so you take down notes as much as you can. Obviously, if you gain so much value from this video, I'm going to need you to do one thing for me, which is to like this video. Let us add the second thing. I need you guys to comment below, tell me what it is that you're looking at, and let's add the third last thing, which is now subscribe onto my YouTube channel, and as well turn on the notification bell so you can help out other people, whether it's friends or family, be able to just see my channel and learn from it. Let's get started with the session. Okay, you can see this is happening tomorrow morning. We've got we've got volatility, GBP, which is going to be live trading. We've got this here. There's going to be at 9 a.m. There's going to be I think this on your X is going to be gold members and platinum members, and as well that's tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and we have New York session tomorrow again, CPI, which is going to be platinum members at New York session. And just by coming back down, we also have live trading London session, which is on Wednesday 9 a.m. which is going to be gold and platinum members, and as well we have retail sales New York session, which is a few hours after the live trading, then the morning session, which now is going to be New York session, which this is going to be for platinum members. And as well, we are going to be having this PPI in New York live trading session, which is now going to be for the platinum members. So this is what's going to happen for the week. One thing that I want to do is that I want you guys to help me. I want to add 2 more currencies to my bucket list. So I want to focus back on having my top 6 pairs. But now I want to add 2 more currencies. So let us see those votes, guys. I want you guys to help me. Just type the USD JPY. I love this TK. Six pairs, we've got 3 indices, we've got 3 currencies, we've got 1 commodity, so we've got 7 in total, which means that our sessions is going to be a bit more longer, but anyways, we love them, né? So let me just come back here and start looking at the daily time frame, try to see what it is that the S&P 500 is trying to show us here. And just by looking at it, obviously within the last few days we had some buyers as well that actually took place, but before that we had also sellers that were pushing downwards. But obviously looking at it, we are still in this upward momentum. And looking at also here on the daily time frame, let me just remove this. Okay, looking at here on the daily time frame, I understand that price would have broken above this previous resistance area, broken above here and came back, now retesting, and you can see this beautiful hammer or this candlestick here on the daily, which represents that I'm seeing this candlestick on a support. Obviously that's a big buy, so we're seeing price maybe go a bit more to the upside, but we can't just do that and think we already have a trade. Obviously we need to now go a bit more deeper, like we need to analyze the charts, go a bit more to a lower level and see what price is actually telling or showing us. Okay, so with this right here, okay, so just by having my trend line go all the way from here all the way up until here, I may even remove this. It's okay, these are old structures that eventually did play out, but they are old structures. So on my 4 hour, I can just have my management line to see what actually is going on, and I can see we've got here our first touch, our second touch, and right here being our third touches. Ne? We are now at our third touches on the 4 hour, which makes it much more valuable because we are now on the 4 hour. Okay, so what I'll do is that I'll just filter this out so it only shows on the 4 hour hours, only on the 4 hour. It doesn't show lower than the 4 hour. And what I'll do is that I'll be going to the 60-minute time frame, and when I get you on the 60-minute time frame, obviously I'm looking for, what price is showing me. Is it corresponding to what I saw on the 4 hour, or is it actually going against me? But just by having this BR, I can easily even just update it to, right here and right here. This makes perfect sense, because looking at it, guys, if you know your charts, you can see that this is a simple left shoulder, boom, head, boom, right shoulder, right here, right shoulder. So with this being said, it means that there's a high chance that price is coming all the way up to here. Okay, it means that there's a higher chance price is coming all the way up to here. So now we can even see that with how prices, I'm giving us this beautiful left shoulder, right shoulder type. The best ways that we can go about it is either waiting for the neckline to break up above and taking this buy, which is a much more safer entry. It's much more safe because you're waiting for confirmation, then you're buying after confirmation. But as well, even if that doesn't happen, you can easily just take a much more riskier trade, which means that you can enter here, take a stop loss maybe here, and take profit here, which is going to increase more risk to reward. You can look at it 5.7. But I was actually reading a book, Market Wizards, and one of those great guys, it's Richard Dennis. What he mentioned is that in the markets, for him to have stayed, he's been trading for over 40 years, so he's over 50 years actually. For him to be as successful and for him to be long in the markets is the fact that he was honest enough to put a stop loss peak. Because obviously for us, such stop loss, they work, 5.7%. It's very stop. But that guy was for him to actually, he puts the stop loss where he knows the market shouldn't go there. So that way he has an edge over the markets, meaning that there's a high chance that he might, let's say you have a stop loss maybe somewhere here type thing. Do you get that? And obviously risk reward, it will be a bit less. But even if price retraces and does whatever, he'll still be in type thing. So that's how he sees the markets. Instead of having a tight stop loss like this and being out and doing all those things, for him it didn't make sense. But we are all different types of traders at the end. He's gained success doing that, but it doesn't mean that you are gonna also gain success doing that. But you can gain success doing that. That's one of the ways that you should learn from experienced traders. So that's what we're seeing on US 500 along. Okay, let me just flag this. Okay, so now on US 100. Okay, US 100. So you can easily see that it's almost similar to the same. So normally on the daily, if we saw buyers on indices, then US 30, US 5, and the more likely are going to be same type of thing. But looking at this beautiful situation that we're in now, price has been pushing upwards, all the way upwards. You can see this beautiful upward trend, okay? All this beautiful upward trend. And as well, price broke above here at the resistance. Let me just clean this up. Price broke here at the resistance. It broke above impulsively, and now look at this coming back to retest. So obviously just by going all the way down to the 60-minute time frame, one thing that I was able to spot is the fact that yes, right here we had this beautiful pattern that eventually just broke out. Okay, let me remove this as well. We had this beautiful pattern that eventually broke out below. But the way that it broke out, it started moving in a corrective manner, which now shows that there's a high chance that we can be looking for something else. So something else in this scene would be buyers. And I highly believe that, the market could be ready any moment from now. Because look at this, it broke below. And once it broke, it done this falling wedge. So knowing this being a falling wedge, and look at this previous resistance, it broke out, now being support. Obviously, this is a perfect buy position. And it being a perfect buy position, it means that obviously your stop loss is here. And truly speaking, it's the same thing in terms of risk in terms of what we saw on head and shoulders, because you can see we have our left shoulder here, our head right here, and then our right shoulder right here. You can see, okay. So obviously with this, you have your stop loss be if you want to be on the safer side, and take profit here, which is a 4%, but we're going all the way up to here, which is over 6.3%. But this trade is ready. It's actually a trade that I can share in the private team. right now because it looks as ready as ever. And remember, we are starting a week, so the most important thing is to start a week with a cleaner mindset and as well start the week fresh. So you shouldn't be focusing more on trying to make as much as possible. In fact, when I start the week, I trade with very small contract sizes, because that way it allows me to be prepared for anything that can happen to me throughout the week. And it's better to end the week strong than to start it strongly in negatives and trying to recover. It's better like, it's, imagine starting the week in negatives and you working the whole week, you are focusing more on recovering instead of making your profit. Shouldn't be that way. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing on US 100. And obviously, guys, doing your own analysis or coming up back down to like how we see things. Like, obviously, when if we're seeing a buy like this, there's like a higher chance where the odds can be with us, and when we are seeing better risk compared to reward, buying compared to selling. But it makes perfect sense as well if the market doesn't go in our direction, for you to see that there's a possible scenario for a vice versa type thing. So what I mean is that, like, obviously, if the market doesn't go above and then maybe it breaks below and then it comes back and retest this as the resistance, then obviously it means that now you should be looking to sell, even though it can be a short term, maybe up until summer year. But you shouldn't just focus more on that buy, unless maybe it didn't break below here, it's still just playing around there. Then obviously you can still continue looking for buys. But if it breaks below, then you need to now change your mindset or change your bias in terms of what you're looking for. So don't always just focus on one thing. Allow the market to continue, like, moving in its direction, and you just continue to evolve. There's what we call pattern separation in our courses. So you have to just continue evolving with what price or structure is telling us at that time. But let's now look at GBP JPY. It's been a while. Okay, let me start from the daily. Okay, GBP JPY. Let me clean this up, clean this too. So you can see on GBP JPY, what we have here is obviously price just come from, it's moving upwards, but in a ranging way, because you can see price is actually ranging between here at 148,000 level, 148,800 level, and also just there by 171 level, 250, somewhere around here at these levels there. So that's where price, you can see in the last in the last 2 years, since 20th, on my birthday, since the 20th of September 2021, it has been, the lowest has been just there and the highest has been just there. So it's basically just ranging between those, how many pips is it when you look at it? It's more like just a few thousand pips, ne? Just a few thousand, not really a lot. Let me just do this. The market is just ranging between over 2.2 thousand pips, you see. So it's not really a lot, even though it doesn't mean that you'll make 2.2 thousand pips in you can still make it in quick, because you can see a price shut down. So if you caught this trade, maybe you could have went up with it, which you would have made over 1,000 pips within, like, from judging from it, a week's time frame, just a few days time frame. But going to the 4 hour, so like I did say, this being the impulse, now we are in a corrective phase. So with this correction, let me just clean this up, and then use this to just identify where are we actually going with this bigger pattern. What is this pattern trying to tell us? Okay, remember, you should just allow patterns to show or tell you, then from there make a decision according to their statistic, using that, and that's much more better, because you can see this impulse, this correction. So what my understanding of this is that you can easily see that we are now also on the third touch here, 1 2, and third touch here. So either two things can happen. Scenario could be either price can respect this third touch, go all the way down to here, give us a third touch, and then go back a bit more to the upside, and then from upside maybe we can see it come down. But I don't like forecasting that long, because anything can happen. First of all, this scenario, we're not even sure if it can happen, so we can't really focus on more future movements. But if that does not happen, then we will see price just maybe breaking above this resistant area, coming here maybe for a third touch, 1 2 3 third touch, and then now coming all the way down to here. And then from there, we can maybe see price break, also continue going downwards, because looking at this beautiful pattern, there's a chance that this pattern should break to the downside. So we will use that. We'll use what the pattern is telling us. But obviously when that moment comes, we'll observe what actually goes on. But normally with these patterns, what they say is that, the length of this first impulse is where the take profit is going to be at. And we used this method to actually catch a big trade last week. So yeah, and we actually even did take profit on it, like using this method, because looking at it, you can see that touches here. So it basically says that our next take profit is here, which price has been here in ages. So you have to hold it, you can see, which is exactly at the support. But we don't know how long it can take. That's the thing, you don't never know how long it can take. So you use this in order to just time the markets, but as well you become smart about it and you make money out of those movements that you already spot. Ne? So going all the way down to the 60-minute time frame. All the way down to the 60. There we go. Okay, 60-minute time frame. Okay, right here. There we go. Just had to clean this up. Okay, perfect. I can either have it like here, or I can just evolve it. I'm more likely to evolve it because I love clean structure. That was like previous week, but now I just love clean structure, so I'm more likely to have it like this. You can see first touch, second touch, third touch here. So truly speaking, guys, I'm seeing a sell over here. Having my fib, yeah, so level. I'm seeing a sell here, but this will be a short-term sell, and maybe up until here. Wait for candlestick confirmation. Have your stop loss just be above this previous lower high. Take profit could be here. First take profit right here at the support 3.7, which is amazing. But as we go, we will evolve. We can also still come back here 7.9, and from here that's when we will get that bigger sell. I mean that bigger buy. When you get here, you can either go all the way up, or we can just eventually just continue breaking, going below. But I'm seeing this sell happening on GBP JPY. Okay. I'm seeing that beautiful sell going all the way down. So I just have to remember these setups because I'm gonna have to send them out as setups. Okay, I'm gonna have to send them out as setups. But this is GBP JPY. So now coming back down to as well USD JPY. Okay. USD JPY. Let me just come back down here on the daily. It's been a while since I looked at you, so obviously I need to start you from fresh. Okay, but this is clean, truly speaking. Looking at this, I'm seeing a beautiful buy already. But yeah, I'll just show you guys what I mean. But on the daily, I'm seeing a buy. Okay, price is moving downwards, though. You can see prices been moving downwards up until we reached somewhere around these levels here. And price couldn't break below these levels, so now it's starting to go back up. And the reason I'm saying I'm seeing a buy is because of the fact that look at this, price has been moving up downwards correctively. And after moving downwards correctively, you can see when it reached here support, it broke above now this resistant area, and it came back to retest this as support. And look at all these perfect testing, guys. Also, if I may just put this as resistance, now support, look at this. So price is most definitely going up all the way up until right here, all the way up until right here. Okay, but how do you go about it? Obviously we're not trying to just be analysts. We need to actually be able to profit from such moves. How do we spot this? Okay, so all I'm gonna do is just remove this and just minimize this. And okay, so how we will go about this is obviously just by having our clean structures right here, being able to just identify this level, some sort of support, which supports price from breaking below and going all the way to the upside. But looking for entry, it means that we just have to dive a bit more deeper and look at our patterns. So far I'm seeing this beautiful pattern, a flag that's being printed right here. So obviously if you are studying these patterns, you'll be able to see them even without drawing them or analyzing or putting them on chart. That's how I can see them. So I see this impulse, this correction, the next impulse coming up. And with this being said, obviously I'll just wait for price to come maybe somewhere around here, retest. Maybe I can take an entry. This is a bit too much for I'll look for a smaller take stop loss, maybe somewhere around here. And I know that I'm coming all the way to somewhere here, 1,000 pips worth it. Depends on how long I'll be able to hold it though. Ne? But that is on USD JPY. Let me just go on the 60-minute to see how we'd go about that entry that we spoke or we looked at. So that entry, how it go about it is just waiting for price to come back and retest at least somewhere around this area, yeah. Because what my understanding is that you can't really just buy anyway. And if you are buying now, it means that you are buying at the resistance, because look at this, price is resistant to break. So if you buy now, that's a poor buy. That's a poor trade or decision. You rather have to buy here, because if you buy now, where's your stop loss gonna be? Your stop loss gonna be far, like somewhere here. So at least when you buy here, when price is cheaper, it your stop loss is still there. But now you're getting price a bit more cheaper, and you can go up with it. Or if you are buying after the breakout happened, you're also buying it cheaper, because why? A price would allow you to put your stop loss anywhere between somewhere around here. Do you get that? So it's much more cheaper that way compared to an expensive price, whereby you're buying at the resistance where price is the most expensive at. And when you're buying here, your stop loss even is going to be much more greater looking at it. Okay, so this one here, it will just be a management. We'll have to see when it gets there. We'll have to observe as well, because I have to also be comfortable with my stop losses, because 50 pip stop, something else. But on the 1 hour, it makes sense entering from the 1 hour. So this could be those swing trades. You understand? Currencies are dope for swinging, so this could be those swing trades. Because imagine you catching like such a move. You've seen this head and shoulders, left shoulder, head, right shoulder. Then you catch it maybe at the breakout here. You put a buy stop and a stop loss somewhere below. Then it goes all the way up with it, all the way. Maybe you take profit somewhere here. See, that would have been a beautiful trade. So we're trying to just benefit on that. So that is on USD JPY. That is on USD JPY. Okay, you can see this is happening. Tomorrow morning we've got we've got volatility GBP, which is gonna be live trading. We've got this here. There's gonna be at 9 a.m. There's gonna be I think this on your X is gonna be gold members and platinum members, and as well that's tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and we have New York session tomorrow again, CPI, which is gonna be platinum members at New York session. And just by coming back down, we also have live trading in London session, which is on Wednesday 9 a.m., which is going to be gold and platinum members. And as well, we have retail sales New York session, which is a few hours after the live trading, then the morning session, which is now is going to be New York session, which this is going to be for platinum members. And as well, we are going to be having this PPI New York live trading session, which is now going to be for the platinum members. So this is what's going to happen for the week. Being here, it means that you have literally made it up until the end, which shows that you take your trading seriously. So now what is the next step? What is that one thing that you can do in order to just help you get to the next level? On which there's a link in the description box. The very first link, it will take you to our website. There's different types of packages whereby you can get access to our live trading sessions that actually take place almost every day. Like tomorrow we're having 2 sessions, today we have a session. Those types of things. And they also come with courses that you can learn from. So that is only if you are looking into increasing your knowledge. But obviously, if you just want to remain maybe at the same level, or you feel like you do not need to grow or anything similar to that, you just can remain maybe watching some of my YouTube videos, because what they do is that they help, they teach. Yes, they actually share a lot of valuable information, but we cap it because I cannot share as much information on YouTube compared to what actually goes on in the private team. So it also depends on you. What do you want? Do you want that value that's being shared in the private, the inner members that can ask me any type of question, get any type of answer, or you want just one that is generally for each and every one? But make sure that you have liked this video if you found value. Also comment below the top page that you are looking at, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. I'll see you guys in the next YouTube video. It is your boy Elisiba Mutu.